That's right, folks. Welcome and welcome back to a Recruiting Numbers Do Not Lie edition of the Always Irish Show. As always, you can find the program on YouTube. Do it. Subscribe if you haven't yet. I'd appreciate that very much. Give the video a thumbs up if you approve of the content. Helps in the search algorithm. I appreciate that very much as well. Hit notifications. The news is coming out at weird days, weird times out of left field. Make sure you hit notifications so that you're alerted every time there's breaking news and I put out some information. You don't miss it. You get it right away. Twitter, search bar, Always Irish, or at Always Irish Inc. Emails, alwaysirishindy@gmail.com. Audio only anywhere you want me. You could get me calling line 312-900-8815. Here's the deal. Now, I don't know why I'm feeling the impetus to go ahead and do this show, but I wanted to take a minute and talk about where Notre Dame's at in recruiting right now to demonstrate just how quickly the bar has been risen in this regard in the Notre Dame program. All right? Now, here's the thing. The whole double less mores to negative no mores. It's frustrating. It's frustrating. I get it. It's two really, really talented players at two mega positions of need. Two guys Notre Dame was in great position for many, many months. And it doesn't look like we're going to get either one. I get that frustration. But I'm telling you guys, the arrow's still pointing straight up for Notre Dame. Straight up. And in my opinion, it hasn't leveled off or tapered off or went from straight up to at an angle because of these two guys. Looking at the big picture operation, the arrow's straight up, even with the double mores is less frustration that we all have right now. Let's look at some general recruiting nuggets to help show people where we're at. Okay? Pete Sampson tweeted, Notre Dame has 6 players in the top 100 right now. Okay? The last time we did that was over 10 years ago. 10 years ago. 10 was the last time we had that many top 100 guys in the same class. Failure on Brian Kelly, 100% F- job in elite level talent acquisition. No way around it. Unacceptable. Unacceptable. 2 also from Sampson. 2 top 100 corners committed in the same class. Brian Kelly had 4 top 100 corners in 12 years combined. 12. That's embarrassing. Marcus has half that in year 1. Embarrassing results from Kelly. Okay? 6 top 100 guys in this class. He had 1 last year. Sneed. 1. Sneed. How can you ever expect to get over the big game hump doing that? The answer is you can't. Also from Sampson, Notre Dame's at 19 guys, 280.72 point total on 247. Better than all Brian Kelly classes except for 2013. Okay? So now you're going, all right, well, Kelly had 1 class in the ballpark to this. Just kidding. That class was done. This class has 6 more spots. So it's automatically going to end way above that. So if you even had one moment to sit there and go, well, Kelly at least had 1 in that ballpark. Yeah, when it was all over. This class has 6 more spots to fill. Bad job by Kelly. Kevin Sinclair says, Brian Kelly's 2011 class had 6 top 100 guys. Okay? But after that, beyond the guys in the top 100, there was only 5 more 4-stars. This class has 11 more 4-stars beyond the top 100 guys. That is a big, big gap in talent. Big, huge, huge. Eric Hansen chimes in. Per Rivals, Notre Dame has 14 top 250 players. Okay? One more than Brian Kelly's best full class, and we have 6 more spots left. 5 or 6. We're at 19 now. You take 25. Okay? Kyle Kelly chimes in. Not Brian Kelly. Kyle Kelly. 10 guys in the top 250s in 23. 3 so far for 24. Best corner recruit. Highest ranked corner recruit since 2006 in this class. Highest quarterback recruit since 2007. Bad job by Brian Kelly. Bad job. You can't expect to compete doing that. And we didn't. I mean, we kind of did, but only up to a point. You know what I mean. We competed against the regular teams, beat who we were supposed to beat. When it came to the big boys where talent wins it, we didn't win it ever. And they weren't even close. Okay? Brad Powers chimes in. Brian Kelly's last 6 classes at Notre Dame. 5 stars. 1. 5 stars. 1. In these 2 cycles we're looking at right now, Freeman's already got 3. Blue chip ratio for those classes for Brian Kelly. Blue chip ratio, 4 or 5 star guys as compared to 3-star guys is how they calculate the blue chip ratio. Brian Kelly, 52%. Early on in the Marcus Freeman era, 87%. 87, 52. Night and day. Talent, not talent. Pretty easy to see. Pretty easy to see. And the best part about all these numbers, there's still 6 spots left. Class is going to get a lot better. Class is going to get a lot better. Here's some other numbers for you, okay? With 6 spots left, the point total on 247 for Notre Dame's 280.72 with a 93.21 per player grade point average. Let's just look back at the past 5 recruiting cycles, see how these numbers compare. 275.91. 2 years ago, 269.89, 251.90, 258.90, 268.90. Those are the last 5 class point totals and average rating per guy when the classes were done. Over signing day. I cannot repeat enough. We have blown by all of Brian Kelly's totals with a half dozen more spots to fill with good athletes. Night and day. Massive upgrade in talent. Massive. Huge. 87% blue chip rate compared to flip a coin 50-50 under Kelly. Not even in the same world. Not even in the same ballpark, okay? Now, the point of me going through all this is twofold. Number one, to keep proper perspective on the double less more situation. I get the disappointment. If we were with Kelly, we wouldn't even be in these races to be mad to lose them. That's honestly how you got to look at it. You got to be in it to win it. You got to be in it to lose it. Kelly wouldn't even add us in it. He would have stocked the boat with a bunch of 3 stars that look like me from the Southside Chicago Catholic League, and we would all just went on our way with the 15th best recruiting class, praying the results magically change. Okay? And number two. So that's number one. These are good problems to have. The arrows pointing straight up. Do not let the double less mores deter you. Too much. It deters me a little, but only a little. Don't let it do it to you too much. Look at the big picture. And number two, and this is the more important of the 2 points, I wanted to show that it takes elite talent to win playoff games. And we are now putting ourselves in a realistic position, if this kind of recruiting effort continues for another couple cycles on top of this one, we are putting ourselves in a position to realistically be able to compete at that level, just based on the talent. Now, this is in no way a guarantee that we're going to get over the hump and win playoff games and all that. I'm not acting like it's a guarantee just based off recruiting rankings. Marcus has got to turn out to be a head coach. So having top 5-ish overall talent, which is where I hope and think this class will ultimately settle. I don't expect it to stay at 1, but it's going to be very, very high. The point is, we're putting ourselves in a position where pure roster talent differences aren't going to put us in a position where you're not able to compete in the playoff like is what has happened with Kelly whenever we made it there. Can't even compete, not even close to the competition level, okay? So, no, it's not a guarantee. Marcus has got to be a good head coach. But I can give you a guarantee. Without that top 5-ish overall talent, I can guarantee you're not winning a playoff game. Whoa, John, how do you get off saying it? Well, Brian Kelly's history at Notre Dame shows you that. It's right there for you. Here's the other thing. Whenever I get into this discussion, John, Notre Dame can win it with 3 stars that don't have an ego. Coach them up, rah, rah, rah. That only gets you so far. You can only lean on that bit so far for so long before talent just wins out. Okay? Talent just wins out. So, no, all this talent Marcus is getting doesn't guarantee anything. But I was guaranteeing, and it was a sure thing under Kelly, the way he was doing it, you had no chance. At least now you have some chance. With Kelly, you had no chance. He knew the way he was doing it wasn't good enough and refused to change it. And then the next time we were in that position, the same result happened. So there's no guarantee now, but it was a guarantee under Kelly. You were never going to get there. Ever. Ever. Okay? So, and here's the thing. I've done this research before, and I brought it up to you guys. I've had people push back on that. What do you need to do to win a championship in recruiting angle? I've been doing the statistical research on this for 10 years. Here's how it goes. Don't challenge me. I've done the math. To win a championship in the modern era, you need one of these 2 things or both. Number 1, top 5 talent for 2, 3, 4 recruiting cycles up until the year you win it, and or the best quarterback in college football. The only 2 teams in the last dozen years that have won a championship without top 5 talent were Clemson with Lawrence, the best quarterback in the nation, and Auburn with Cam Newton, the best quarterback in the nation. So if Notre Dame has the best quarterback, you can afford to have a little less level talent all around it. If you don't, you need a top 5 well-rounded roster everywhere else to get where you need to go. That is not John's opinion. It's a fact based on the results. I've done the math. Top 5 classes, multiple, all stacked, and or the best quarterback at the best position, or the best quarterback in the most important position. Those are requirements, folks. So till I see Notre Dame with the number 1 quarterback, you got to build top 5 classes. That's the bottom line, okay? So now My focus is shifting into season mode. Season mode. And what I mean by that is this recruiting effort's going great. The only thing I think, in my opinion, that could derail it is for Notre Dame to have an unusually bad year where it looks like it's a huge coaching drop-off from Kelly to Freeman. Bunch of injuries. We lose 4 or 5 games. That's where it's going to get rocky. That's where you can allow some negative recruiting to creep in there. People start telling these kids, Freeman's a good talker, but look at the results. Learning on the job, that's risky. Sure, you want to do that whole thing. So that's Notre Dame just needs to avoid that bottom falling out and having an obviously rough year that makes people look at it a weird way. So barring that, the future's going to be bright. 24 should be great. We keep it rolling. But the numbers don't lie, folks. Notre Dame is raising the bar in terms of talent, and it is going to pay off. Look at it this way. I just broke down for you some of the night and day statistical readings of these recruiting classes from Kelly to Freeman. And you're sitting there listening to me talk about it going, man, those are some big differences, some big gaps in the talent level. Look at how close Kelly did get with the lower talent level. Kelly got pretty damn far with rosters that were limited because he was limited in his ability to recruit or willingness to recruit. That's what's most encouraging to me. Kelly got this thing really far down the road with some above average, but not good or great talent overall, in my opinion. You bring some top 5, 6, 7 type classes all stacked at Notre Dame in here, talent is not going to be the issue. The future is bright. It is. And for the LSU people, I'll finish with this. Keep in mind, other than me not appreciating how you bought your last championship with Ed Orgeron, I don't appreciate how you bought that. But other than that, I don't have an issue with LSU. My issue's with Brian Kelly. Don't conflate the two. All my beef with Brian Kelly, LSU's collateral damage. I don't really have anything against LSU other than they paid for a championship. And that tells me everything I know about them. I need to know about them institutionally. But aside from that, I don't really have beef with LSU. It's beef with Kelly. Don't conflate the two. Have a good night.